Hello everybody and welcome back to Cuckoo for Books. And I just came back from the Leigh Bardugo signing here in Manila. I took a lot of clips and I got my book signed and I just had so much fun.
If I was going to collaborate with somebody, this is a tough question because I feel like it's kind of like, you know, you have friends who are like, you're really good friends, but you wouldn't want to live with them, or like you wouldn't want to go on like a road trip with them. Like you were friends and then you went on the road trip and then you were like, no, like I've seen a side of you I never wanted to see. So I would be afraid of, like what might happen. I mean, I would love to write with Laini Taylor. I think she's just so amazing. And I just like her as a person too, but we have totally different processes. Like I outline, Laini is very much about like she writes and then she rereads what she writes and then she goes back to it. And I think we might kill each other like before the first week or so. I mean, honestly, I would love to write with J.K. Rowling just so I could meet her. But I would probably spend the whole time being like, you write and I'll just watch you. So yeah. Never cut a steamy scene. That would be the last thing to go. I'd be like, we need it to be 200 pages long. You know, like, the thing that happened with, I write to an outline, so it's pretty rare that I cut scenes. And my books tend to get longer on revision, like there are gaps that have to be filled in. Like with Siege and Storm, what happened was there were a bunch of events that originally were part of like the battle scene. That scene had gotten to be over 100 pages long, and there was just too much happening, and it's sort of like there's diminishing returns. Like you have one big moment, or one big death, or one big trauma, and it's like you just keep repeating that, they start to not be important. So, and also the book was getting too long, so I actually took a bunch of events that I originally imagined at the end of Siege and Storm, and I put them in the middle of Ronin Rising, and sort of restructured everything, but the actual moments did not change radically. There's like one small scene that I cut that was like a flashback of Tamar training Jenya to fight, but it wasn't a steamy scene. I guess it could have been, but it wasn't a steamy scene. No, I would never cut. That's the thing is like I kind of have this dream of like having like a secret fan fiction account and just writing secret sexy fanfic for all my characters. Probably should not. Well, 1800s Russia for me, it was really a two-part thing. You know, I'm a huge Game of Thrones fan, huge Lord of the Rings fan. And a lot, I mean, majority of fantasy I read, and it's certainly not, like, there's a lot of other stuff out there now. There's Cindy Pon and Melinda Lowe and N.K. Jemisin. Like, there's a lot of non-Western-based fantasy, but most of what I grew up on used medieval England as its point of departure, you know, and it's like, I love that, you know, I love broadswords and tunics and mead and let's go to a tavern, but let's all go, but I wanted to do something a little bit different, and take readers someplace a little bit different, and Russia felt like, as soon as I started thinking about it, really felt like the right fit for my world. In terms of why 1800s and not, say, medieval, you know, Kievan Rus, like, it was, really, I wanted to answer the question, what happens when you bring a gun to a magic fight? So in the 1800s, you have things happening like the advent of the repeating rifle and the Gatling gun, and I really wanted there to be this tension between the rise of modern military technology and magic. As for Six of Crows, you know, if you read the trilogy, you hear about all these other countries. And the whole time I was writing Six of Crows, I was thinking, you know, I really want to do a novella set in Kerch, because Kerch is kind of like the anti-Ravka, right? Ravka is like really isolated. It's really, you know, it hasn't industrialized. It's a little bit back, like sort of backwater. Has a kind of almost fairy tale feel. And Kerch is this like trading superpower. Everybody else has been fighting wars. Kerch has stayed neutral, and they're wealthy. They're like this little hyper-capitalist trading nation. and it's cosmopolitan, and it's like it's the hub of all legal trade, but it's also the hub of all illegal trade. So it also has this thriving criminal underworld. And I was like, oh, I really want to set a story there. And when I got the idea for Six of Crows, I remember the exact moment I got it too, but like when I got the idea, I was like, yes, that's where the story belongs. So I had a story to tell in the world, which is why I chose to continue it. Are you guys interested in arcs for Six of Crows?
Yeah.
Who wants an arc? Oh, come on, who wants an arc? Yeah! We've got arcs for all of you, so. Very classic chosen one story, right? Like we see a lot of this, ordinary girl discovers powers, leads revolution. Like this is a pretty common thing. And I think, I didn't realize it at the time, but I think coming out of that, I wanted to write a story about people who were not chosen ones. Like the kids in Six of Crows, they do not have grand destinies. They are not chosen ones. They're not kings or queens or princesses, and they're never going to be. And they're not looking to start a revolution. They're just looking to survive. And Kaz, who leads this team, he doesn't have some supernatural power. He's just the toughest, smartest, most ruthless kid in the room. So for me, it was a really different process, different journey to go on, and it was really fun. So I used to be a makeup and special effects artist. And the thing is, when you're a makeup artist, around Halloween time, you get really, really popular. Like people who are like Facebook friends who haven't heard from in 2 years are like, hey, I really want to be Lady Gaga. Could you come over to my house and make me up for free? So my strategy for dealing with this was always basically to leave town on Halloween, which is my message to you guys: run away from your problems. But so I would leave town, and we got invited to go to a Halloween party in Mammoth, which is it's in the mountains near Los Angeles. And I went, and I offered to do the host makeup for free, and I ended up doing free makeup for like 3 hours straight while the party was going on upstairs. And now I would just shut it down, but at the time I was like, okay, sure, I'll do it. So I came out of this, I was mad, I didn't want to talk to anyone, and the next night they were like, oh, let's go to dinner. I was like, no, you go to dinner. I'm staying here and I'm reading my book. And I was staying in this house all by myself. Everybody had left. And I fell asleep while I was reading my book, and when I woke up, the sun had set, and it was pitch black. Okay, like, I don't know if, in LA, it never really gets dark. Maybe that's true in Manila too. Like, it always, there's this ambient light. This was country dark, where you cannot see your hand in front of your face. And I'm standing in this house, and I'm completely terrified because I don't know where anything is, and I'm convinced somebody is in the house, that somebody has come in the house and getting ready to, murder me. Because that's what they do, they wait for you to wake up. And I was like, I'm just standing there, totally freaking out. And when I finally calmed down, I turn on every light in the house, and I check under all the beds and in all of the closets, and I lock every door. And I have this moment where I realize, no matter how old you get, no matter how smart you think you are, that fear of the dark never really goes away, right? There's always something in the closet or under the bed. There's always something waiting in the woods. And I thought, well, what if darkness was a place? What if the creatures you imagine lurking in the dark were real and you had to fight them on their own territory? What would that place look like? What would those creatures look like from evolving in the dark? How would you fight them? What kind of magic would have created it? Why would you go in there in the first place? And all those ideas became the Shadowfold, and every other idea in the trilogy really sprang from that initial moment. Yeah. If I didn't want you to like the Darkling, I would have had him drown a kitten in book 2, or I would have made him suddenly he would have Vadered or Voldemorted, where all of a sudden his evil starts seeking through his pores. But for me, I always felt the most dangerous people in our lives don't walk in wearing a sign that says, hey, I'm evil, ignore me. I'm dangerous. They walk in being beautiful and brooding and charismatic, and they know how to manipulate you to make you become attached to them. And for me, the challenge was always nope, I'm just going to keep him hot. And you're going to have to judge him not by what he says or how compelling he is, but by what he actually does. He says a lot of things to Alina that don't quite hold true. When he says, I wanted us to rule as equals. This is the same man who in Shadow and Bone put a collar around her neck and tried to enslave her and forced her to murder thousands of people. So, I always sort of feel like I think if I had read these books when I was younger, I absolutely would have shipped Alina and the Darkling. But I also feel like that's what fan fiction is for. Like, there are things that, for me, belonged as canon and things that didn't. I am glad that my characters incite enthusiastic response, but I also feel like if you're literally tearing somebody down on Tumblr because you think Mal is a jerk, or because you think Alina should have ended up with this person or that person, like, no, man, like, reevaluate your priorities. Like, that's bad news. But, yeah, I mean, I don't set out to write love interests. I set out to write characters. And they all have their agendas and their own journey to go on. And I think if you try to make somebody just a love interest, or just the hero, or just the villain, they get really boring really fast. I mean, let's be real. Like, 4 years ago, I was broke. Okay, like, I was broke. I had like no money. I had a job I didn't really like. Like, makeup and special effects sound so glamorous. It means being on your feet for 12 hours a day and people talking to you like you're stupid all the time. But you do have a lot of great lipsticks. You know, I was in a career that I didn't want to be in. Like, I had sort of gotten very lost along the way. And now I literally have my dream job. Like, I literally have the job I dreamed of having when I was a kid. My friend drew a picture for me when we were 14 years old for my birthday, and it was me at a book signing. Like this, and I have it still. And now I get to do this. I get to travel to a country I've never been before and meet you guys and sit here and talk about stories and have you care about the characters. Like, it is the most unreal, magical, incredible thing. So my life is totally different since becoming a published author, and I really owe it all to the people who read the books and then handed them to their friends and said, you should read this. I know you don't like fantasy, but read this. Or I know you think that the YA is silly, but read this. Or, you know, I know you love YA, so read this. Like, it's amazing. I'm getting choked up, so I'm gonna stop. Hello, Filipino readers. My big message is thank you. Thank you for supporting the series. Thank you for talking about Alina and Mal and the Darkling and Nikolai. Thank you for being excited about Six of Crows. Thank you for tweeting me and creating edits and fan mixes. Thank you for this incredible book culture that you guys have that supports so many authors. It is amazing to see this in action and hear people talking about books that people in the US don't even know about. I feel like you guys have something really special here, and I'm so grateful to all of you. So, maraming salamat.
Meeting Leigh Bardugo was so cool because not just that she wrote an incredible story, but like she's like one of those people that I could imagine like sitting down and hanging out with, like, let's just talk for 10 hours about jewelry and music and LA and Tamora Pierce, and she loves Tamora Pierce, and then there was like a part in the book signing where she was talking about her influences in high fantasy, and then she mentioned, she was like, I grew up reading Tamora Pierce, and I couldn't help it, I was like filming, and then I go, whoa! And then she looks at me and she goes, oh, bless.
I grew up reading Tamora Pierce and Robin McKinney, and yes, bless. So
I'm like, yes, oh, I am blessed by Leigh Bardugo. She'd been on a panel with her, and I was like, I would have given my soul up to have watched that panel, because like Pierce and Bardugo at one panel, like, my mind would have blown. In an outtake of my Grisha reviews, I called Sarah J. Maas and Leigh Bardugo baby Tamora Pierces, and now I really wish I had included it in like the final cut, because that would have been cool. Like, I called her a baby Tamora Pierce, and then she goes and says she loves Tamora Pierce. That would have been so cool. I could feel the awkwardness seeping out of me when I first like met her, and then I went up to her and I was wearing this, and then I said, oh, I always thought I'd be like a Tide Maker if I were a Grisha, and that's why I dressed up in Tide Maker colors. And I was so awkward, I like stood up and I was like, fashion. And she was very nice not to call me awkward, because I feel like I would have called myself awkward in that moment. Look, this one says, I don't know if you can see it, but it says to Salve, signed Leigh Bardugo, and that's normal, that's average. And then it's a normal standard signing. And on the second book, she asked who my favorite character was, and I said Nikolai. obviously Nikolai. And so she said she's gonna put a Nikolai quote, and it says, oh, I don't know if you can see it, but impossible. And she X'd it out and said improbable. My favorite book that she signed was Ruin and Rising, because I gave her a necklace of an outline of a stag for like Morozova stag. And so I gave it to her, and then we got to talking about her accessories, which are so badass, by the way. She had like this feather cuff, and then she had like these mad huge rings, and I was like, I love your jewelry collection. And she said she travels with more jewelry than clothes, which I found really cool. Anyway, so after that, she signed Ruin and Rising, and then she said, to Salve, who understands the importance of great accessories. She thinks I understand the importance of great accessories. That's so cool. I mean, I do, but now she thinks it too. Major fangirl mode. I also got to meet a lot of other book bloggers, and it was so nice to get to know them and get to meet them and be like, yo, what up? I'm a book blogger too. I saved most exciting news for last.
Are you guys interested in arcs for Sex of Crows?
Yeah.
Who wants an arc? Oh, come on. Who wants an arc? Yeah! We've got arcs for all of you, so.
And look! Oh my god! 6 of Crows! In my hands! 6 of Crows in my hands! It's so beautiful! And I just wanna like press it into my heart until it merges into my chest and like stays with me forever. Also signed it! Woot woot! That is it for all my clips and all my pictures from the Leigh Bardugo signing. I had so much fun. This is my first recap video, and I hope you guys like it. I hope to do more in the future. More authors are coming. KiraCast! Thank you to National Bookstore for making this event possible. I've always really wanted to say that. I'm gonna be honest and be like one of those endorsers, like, thank you for making it possible. And now I get to say it! Also for making this possible! Arc! I'm so happy. Thank you, National. You're awesome. You're a national treasure. Ha 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 ha. Look at how witty I am. Don't forget to subscribe and follow me on all the things down there. I hope you enjoyed the video. Go give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time, maybe with less caffeine. Bye!